Employee offboarding. Mitigating compliance risks for your organization. For many managers, smoothly transitioning an employee out the door may seem about as important as making sure the breakroom fridge light is turned off. But don't be fooled. Botched offboarding can haunt a company forever. Let an employee walk away still logged into accounts. And presto, data breached. Fail to collect that keycard, bye-bye building access. Even minor errors can resurface years later as compliance violations, lawsuits, or viral tweets. A proper offboarding process protects what your company has invested decades building: intellectual property, data, reputation. It's the last chance to part on good terms, maintaining alumni connections and employer brand. Most crucially, careful offboarding locks the doors as an employee leaves, ensuring no skeletons come crashing out of the closet behind them. With this in mind, this post will focus on a few key areas of the offboarding process that can mitigate compliance risks if handled properly. In general, it is recommended to have a formal offboarding checklist template that you can follow in order to ensure you meticulously address every detail when an employee exits. Immediate actions upon notice of resignation termination. The offboarding checklist kicks into high gear the moment that resignation or termination letter changes hands. First priority, acknowledge the departure. Notify HR, AT, and the manager, opening communication lines across the company. Silos spell trouble. Next, review regulations around final pay, benefits notices, COBRA, and related obligations. Consult legal counsel to ensure understanding of requirements based on the circumstances. Finally, catalog company assets the employee possesses. Laptops, flash drives, ID badges, keys, account for it all. You'll need to securely recover these items later. Consider it an offboarding scavenger hunt, where losing assets could mean losing data or access. This initial offboarding stage charts the course for a smooth transition later down the line: knowledge transfer and project handover. An employee's departure drains both tangible and intangible assets critical for continuity. Tap into their expertise through documentation. Have them record their unique tasks, workflows, and institutional insights before the last day. Schedule training and transition sessions as well, facilitating knowledge transfers to replacements, teammates, and stakeholders. These efforts minimize friction from the shift in personnel. They preserve the precious intel locked in a departing employee's brain, passing the baton rather than tossing keys over the cubicle wall on the way out the door for their successor to clumsily pick up. Account and asset management. As the last day approaches, spring into action securing accounts and retrieving company assets. No room for delay by this point. Revoke access ASAP. Strictly disable logins and access to email, software, systems on the predetermined final date. Don't fret courtesy. Failing to change passwords or keys early can deeply backfire if things go south. Secure the data. Quickly transfer company files off the employee's devices and accounts. Current staff should take custody of those items. Don't let it linger out there. Recover physical property. Physically collect all branded property from laptops and phones to access badges or keys. Document return, then quickly disable anything still outstanding. Come the last day, vigilantly shutting access and reclaiming assets. Caps risk. Exiting on good terms still necessitates closing gates and accounts behind them. Administrative tasks. As with any HR task, there are some important admin tasks that need to be handled with care: payroll and benefits. As mentioned earlier, calculate and process last paychecks, unused vacation payouts, and benefits termination logistics. Legal documentation. Administer non-disclosure and non-compete agreements, respond to reference letters, and handle additional offboarding documents cleanly and clearly. Update systems. Reflect the employee's departure across human resources systems, time tracking tools, organizational charts, and related infrastructure. Record the transition thoroughly. Handling the administrative side smoothly not only meets compliance standards, but reinforces documentation should future issues arise. Button up lingering payroll, benefits, and systems updates so the offboarding completes fully. The exit interview. The exit interview marks a final step before an employee departs your world. Opt for a private, respectful setting, no sterile conference rooms. Pose open-ended questions on their experience, probing company culture, processes, and improvements. Listen attentively for notes on strengthening operations. Show you care about their perspective. Use this closure conversation to revisit compliance. Surface any simmering concerns over discrimination, harassment, or other workplace issues. even if tensions exist, discussing openly mitigates legal exposures. An exit interview won't heal every wound, but can affirm your shared humanity despite conflicts. This lasts longer than any system password for both parties. After the departure, the work doesn't halt once the door closes behind a departing employee. Maintain alumni relationships through your network and communicate periodically. They may provide future referrals or even boomerang back someday. Review exit interview notes for any consistent weak spots in the employee experience and shore up the cracks. If multiple people raise similar grievances around culture, resources, or development, diagnose the disconnects. Continual refinement of the entire employee lifecycle, including offboarding, builds an organization that talent speak highly of even after moving on. Final word. When that last desk plant gets hauled away, an organization's temptation may be to breathe a sigh of relief that offboarding workflows have concluded. But vigilance can't wane. Proper offboarding sets companies up for smooth operations, security, and compliance in the long run. Dotting every organizational I with detailed checklists reduces friction of transitions, retains institutional know-how, and helps avert disaster. Whether data breaches from unmanaged accounts or social media storms over mismanaged relations, it also upholds legal and regulatory compliance by ensuring thorough handling of data, assets, records, payments, and policies. While offboarding may not be glamorous, but it's a pivotal last line of defense for protecting an organization over the long term.